Deep in the heart of an uncharted jungle, a silent war is about to erupt. One creature stands alone, massive, powerful, and unshaken. A silverback gorilla, king of the forest, feared and respected by all who cross his path. But today, his dominance will be tested like never before. From the cracks and corners of the jungle floor, they come, small, fast, and relentless, one by one, then 10 by 10, until they are 100 strong. Rats, not ordinary pests, but a strategic swarm, intelligent, fearless, and united by one goal: survival and domination. Can the might of one overpower the many? Is raw strength enough to crush a tide of strategy and speed? Gorilla versus 100 rats, overwhelmed or unstoppable? The answer lies ahead. The camera zooms in on the massive figure of the silverback gorilla. Standing tall and proud, his broad chest rises and falls with each heavy breath. His dark, powerful eyes are sharp, scanning the environment. With every step, the ground seems to tremble beneath him. This is the apex predator of the jungle, a creature of brute strength and incredible intellect. No animal dares challenge him, except for those few that must survive at any cost. The silverback moves with slow, deliberate power, his large arms swinging with natural grace. He's in his element here, navigating the dense undergrowth, his territory, a world he knows like the back of his hand. His roar echoes through the trees, announcing his presence to anyone who may be nearby. The jungle responds in silence, as if respecting the king's rule. But this time, something feels different. The air feels heavier, more charged. The silence is broken by the slightest of sounds: scratching, scurrying, a movement in the shadows, small, quick figures darting across the jungle floor, vanishing into the underbrush. At first, it's nothing more than a whisper. But then, the numbers grow, and there they are, the rats, thousands of tiny paws moving with speed and precision, scurrying in all directions. These are no ordinary rats. These creatures are sharp, coordinated, and clever. They are not just a random pack. They are a force, working together with instinct and intelligence. Their small size allows them to infiltrate every corner of the jungle. They move in perfect harmony, a blur of gray and brown, each rat knowing exactly what to do. They swarm, circling, waiting. They've come for a reason. They've come because they know, in numbers, they can challenge the might of even the strongest animal. The silverback may be powerful, but the rats are a collective intelligence, unstoppable when they act as one. The battle is about to begin, and neither side will give an inch. The jungle falls into an eerie silence as the two forces prepare for what's about to unfold. The silverback stands tall in the center of the clearing, his chest heaving as he surveys the surrounding shadows. His eyes narrow, his muscles tense, every sense on high alert. He knows the rats are out there, somewhere, lurking, waiting for their moment to strike. From the underbrush, the first of them emerges, a single rat, cautiously testing the waters. It freezes for a moment, sensing the danger, but then quickly scurries away into the darkness. The others follow, more slowly at first, but soon there's a surge of movement. The rats pour from the foliage, creeping forward in tight formations, their tiny paws making no sound on the forest floor. A rat pauses, glances up at the gorilla, and squeaks a call to the others. At that signal, the swarm is unleashed. Hundreds of tiny bodies rush in every direction, each one working in unison, darting between the vines, over fallen leaves, and under the thick jungle canopy. It's a wave of speed and precision, with every rat knowing its place in the swarm. They are relentless, undeterred by the size or power of their opponent. The silverback grunts and shifts his weight, preparing for the inevitable. He knows that this will not be an easy fight, but he is not afraid. As the first few rats approach, he lunges forward with terrifying speed, his massive hands swatting them away with a single crushing blow. The rats scatter in a flurry, but they quickly regroup, circling around him, looking for another opportunity. The gorilla's movements are swift and powerful, but he cannot keep his eyes on every rat at once. The rats move with a precision that seems almost deliberate, working together to confuse and disorient him. They crawl up his back, dart between his legs, and attempt to find weak spots in his defenses. The gorilla roars in frustration as he tries to swat them away, but they keep coming, again and again, in a constant barrage. For every rat the gorilla takes down, 2 more take its place, surrounding him from all angles. The sheer number of them begins to overwhelm the gorilla's defenses, pushing him to fight on multiple fronts. This battle is not just about power. It's about endurance, strategy, and the ability to outlast the other. The gorilla is powerful, yes, but the rats are quick and relentless, using their numbers to their advantage. With each passing moment, the tension grows. The battle between brute strength and cunning strategy intensifies. Neither side is willing to back down. It's a contest of wills, and only one will emerge victorious. The battle rages on, the jungle filled with the sounds of chaos, roars, squeaks, and the thundering of the gorilla's fists slamming into the ground. Sweat drips from the gorilla's fur, his breath heavy as he continues to fend off the relentless swarm. Each swipe of his powerful arms sends rats flying, but the swarm regroups faster than he can take them down. The gorilla growls in frustration, his eyes darting around, scanning for the next wave of attackers. As the rats swarm and dart, the gorilla finds himself slowing down, his movements growing less precise with each passing second. His massive muscles still allow him to swat and strike, but the constant barrage of tiny, agile bodies is beginning to take its toll. His chest heaves with exhaustion, and his eyes start to widen in disbelief. This is more than he anticipated. Just then, a momentary opening. A single rat slips through his guard, crawling up his leg. It's too quick for him to catch, and before he can react, the rat has scaled his body and is now nipping at his ear. The silverback roars in pain and swats furiously, but the rats aren't done. They move in waves, now more confident in their strategy. They've found in the gorilla's armor his exhaustion. The gorilla swings wildly, knocking several rats into the air, but more take their place. They're everywhere now, crawling up his arms, darting under his feet, scurrying over his back. The gorilla stumbles, his movements erratic as he struggles to stay on his feet. The rats, sensing weakness, press in harder. They're no longer just attacking, they're working together, chipping away at his strength, forcing him into a retreat. With one final burst of energy, the silverback spins around, a last-ditch effort to shake off the swarm. His roar is deafening as he charges forward, sending a shockwave through the jungle. The rats scatter, but just as quickly they regroup, circling him from all sides. They seem relentless, unaffected by his raw power. It's as if they've learned, adapted to his every move. For the first time in the battle, the gorilla looks around, realizing the scale of what he's up against. It's not just the rats. It's their strategy, their endless numbers, and their determination to take him down. The fight is far from over, but the gorilla is starting to realize that brute force alone might not be enough to win this war. The gorilla stands still for a moment, his chest heaving as he surveys the scene. His body is covered in scratches and bites, the marks of the battle. The rats are regrouping, their tiny eyes gleaming with focus as they prepare for the next wave. The gorilla's muscles twitch with exhaustion, but his primal instincts are far from dulled. He's been through countless challenges before, but this is unlike anything he's faced. In the distance, a flicker of movement catches his attention. A rat, larger than the others, steps forward. It moves with purpose, its eyes locked onto the silverback. It's different from the rest, smarter, bolder, and seemingly in charge. This rat doesn't scurry. It walks with authority, signaling the swarm to pause for a moment. The other rats take their cues from it, creating an eerie silence in the midst of the chaos. The gorilla growls low in his throat, his gaze never leaving the new leader. It's clear this rat is no ordinary member of the swarm. It's the strategist, the one who has been directing the attacks from the shadows. The silverback's eyes narrow. If he's to survive this, he knows he must take down this leader. Without it, the rats would lose their coordination, their focus. With a roar, the gorilla charges forward, his massive form barreling toward the leader rat. The other rats scatter in all directions, but the leader stands its ground, its eyes never leaving the silverback. The moment the gorilla is close enough, the leader darts out of the way, moving faster than expected. The silverback slams into the ground with an earth-shattering thud, the force of his attack shaking the very ground beneath them. The leader rat moves in quickly, nipping at the gorilla's leg and then darting away just as quickly. The silverback swipes at it, but the rat is too quick, disappearing into the swarm once more. The battle rages on, but now it's clear. The gorilla is no longer just fighting the swarm, he's fighting for dominance over their leader. And the rats know it. The gorilla rises, his muscles tense with rage, determination burning in his eyes. The rats may have forced him to retreat for a moment, but he's not done yet. The fight is far from over. He's been pushed to the brink, but he's not ready to give in. He roars again, louder this time, and with a burst of energy, he charges forward once more. The rats scatter, but the leader is still there, waiting for him. This time the gorilla is ready. He will not be outwitted again. This is no longer just a fight for survival. It's a fight for victory. And the silverback will stop at nothing to claim it. The silverback charges with unmatched fury, his roar echoing through the jungle as he swings his arms in powerful arcs, knocking rats out of his path. Each step is a force of nature, sending tremors through the ground. The rats scatter, but they don't retreat. They regroup. They move with precision, darting around him in synchronized patterns, a swarm of agility and intelligence. The gorilla's rage fuels his every move, but the exhaustion is starting to show. His breath comes in short, ragged bursts, and the cuts and bruises on his body are starting to accumulate. Yet he continues to fight, determined to push through, determined to crush the tiny creatures that dare challenge him. One rat, quick and calculating, leaps onto the gorilla's back, nipping at his neck. The silverback roars and swats furiously, but the rat is gone before he can strike. He swings again, but another rat darts between his legs, causing him to stumble. The gorilla growls, regaining his balance, but there's no time to recover. The rats press in, surrounding him, moving as one, always one step ahead. Suddenly, from the corner of his eye, he sees movement. The leader rat. It's positioned higher than the others, watching from a branch above, its eyes locked onto the silverback. It's calling the shots, directing the swarm like a general commanding its army. The silverback's gaze sharpens. He's tired, but he knows the fight is not over yet. With a mighty roar, the gorilla lunges toward the tree, his massive arms reaching out in an attempt to grab the leader. But the rat is too quick. It leaps off the branch, and in the chaos, the gorilla's hand crashes into the bark. The silverback pauses for a moment, the weight of his exhaustion settling in, but there's no time to think. The rats continue to swarm, relentless as ever. He is trapped in the center of the battlefield, surrounded by enemies on all sides. His vision blurs with rage, but in that moment of clarity, the silverback makes a decision. He pivots sharply, facing the leader rat one last time. His eyes lock onto the creature, the one who has been calling the shots. In a final, thunderous push, the gorilla leaps, his body a blur of muscle and power, aiming to catch the leader once and for all. The rats scatter in all directions, the swarm parting to make way for the confrontation. For a brief moment, everything seems to slow down, the air thick with anticipation. The leader rat darts, just out of reach, but this time, the silverback is prepared. With one final swipe, he swings his arm in a wide arc, catching the leader off guard. The rat is thrown to the ground, and with a brutal final blow, the silverback finishes the job. The battle is over. The jungle falls silent once more. The gorilla stands panting, covered in sweat and wounds, his body battered but victorious. The rats have scattered, their leader taken down, their coordination lost. The gorilla's dominance is reaffirmed. He is the true king of this jungle. But as the gorilla stands over his fallen foe, he knows one thing. He may have won today, but the jungle is always changing, always evolving. The battle might be over, but the war for survival never ends. The jungle remains eerily quiet, the sounds of the battle slowly fading away. The gorilla stands alone in the center of the clearing, his chest heaving with exhaustion. His fur is matted with sweat, and blood drips from the countless scratches and bites that cover his massive body. His breath comes in labored gasps, each inhale a struggle after the brutal onslaught. His eyes scan the battlefield, still alert, even though the rats have retreated. The rats are gone now, their numbers dwindled, their leader defeated. The swarm is broken, their once coordinated assault no longer a threat. The silverback looks down at the fallen rats around him, a mixture of respect and weariness in his gaze. He fought hard, harder than he ever expected. But it wasn't just his strength that got him through. It was his determination, his will to survive. But the victory feels bittersweet. The jungle may be his, but the battle left its mark. The gorilla raises his head, his roar echoing through the trees once more, not as a sign of dominance this time, but as a declaration that he's endured, that he's still standing. The king of the jungle may have triumphed today, but the fight was close, too close. In the distance, the sound of scurrying feet can still be heard, small, quick, and determined. The gorilla's eyes narrow. The rats may have been defeated, but he knows better than anyone that the jungle is always in motion. There are always new challenges, new threats lurking just beyond the trees. The war for survival never ends. As the rain starts to fall again, the silverback turns and begins to walk away. His movements slow and deliberate, but his eyes never leave the shadows. He knows the battle is over, but the war, that's just beginning.